Let's go. Ready? You've been waiting long?
How are you?
Hey, what's up?
On Iran, sir. Yesterday,
On
Iran, sir.
Okay.
Yesterday, the Iranians said that they had not agreed to the inspection by IAEA, contradicting what Vice President Vance said. What is your understanding of what?
Well, we know what they agreed to. I don't know why they have to say the things they say. Whatever their internal or domestic politics is, I guess they'll navigate it. But we know what they agreed to do, and now they'll either do it or they won't. And if they do, the process moves forward, and if they don't, the president will have some decisions to make.
What assurance are you offering the partners about regional security?
Well, we have long-standing relationships and partnerships with the three countries I'm visiting. And we're here in the United Arab Emirates. I don't know of anyone who's been stronger with the United States over the last 6 months. They've been phenomenal. I mean, for a long time, but certainly over the last 6 months. So we have an ongoing partnership that has been building for over a decade now and continues to grow. So my sense is that we're going to continue on that path, obviously taking into account the new regional dynamics that are at play. But we're really here to hear from them more than we are to talk. We want to hear their thoughts, especially in the aftermath of this weekend in Switzerland, and make sure that their views are taken into account in every decision that we make because they're our partners.
Are the Gulf allies on board with Iran peace framework?
Well, I think all of our allies are on board with peace. Obviously, it all depends on the details of that peace as we work through, but it's a work in progress. This is an issue that's been going on for 47 years. So the idea that somehow it's going to get solved in a day and a half, I don't think anyone's been selling that. I think there's a framework and an outline upon which we can make real progress. I think good groundwork was laid over the last 72 hours, but a lot of work remains to be done. And we want to hear from our partners. We want to make sure that their views are taken into account and we understand their security concerns, their regional economic concerns as well. So it's natural for us to be here and talk to them because this is a very important issue for them. They're right next to it.
Mr. Secretary, on the issue of the reconstruction plan for Iran, the Vice President and the President have both insisted the U.S. will not pay any money into that fund. Are you going to be asking Gulf allies here to consider helping with that?
No, that's far down the road. It's a part of what's discussed that could happen. If Iran makes a decision, if its leadership makes a decision that they want to be a country instead of a revolutionary movement that exports terror, they're going to have an opportunity to do incredible things in Iran. I'm not promising you that that's the choice they're going to make. I'm saying if that's the choice that they make, then there will be opportunities. And those opportunities could include investment, as you've seen other countries in this region benefit from investment, from foreign direct investment. It won't be our investment. It won't be our government money. But I think that is something that's going to have to depend on progress made on a host of other security issues that have to be confronted in the days to come.
Lebanese and Israeli officials are meeting in Washington as we speak. Yeah. Is your position that process should be separate from Iran peace deal?
Well, that process is separate. It's separate because Lebanon is a sovereign country. It has a government. And when it comes to Lebanon, what's happening inside of Lebanon, we're going to negotiate and deal directly with the Lebanese government. I spoke to President Ayoun along with the Vice President a few moments ago, spoke to him on Friday. Their people are there now on the ground directly. So the reason why that issue is always now, there's an Iranian issue with regards to Lebanon, and that is their support and sponsorship of Hezbollah. And so that factor will be discussed as part of our conversations with the Iranians. But as far as the future of Lebanon belongs to the Lebanese people through their sovereign elected government. And that's who we're going to be working with.
Members of boxing aren't being addressed in the MOU. How are you trying to ease concerns to allies here in the region?
Well, that most certainly will come up in these conversations. And there are items outside the MOU that are certainly going to be covered, but that's one that will have to be covered. It'll be discussed. I think a careful reading of the MOU will see that when you talk about, for example, a complete and end of hostilities in the entire region, well, that's not possible. You can't have the end of hostilities and conflicts in the region as long as Iranian proxies are launching missiles and drones from Iraq and are participating in terrorism like Hamas did and like Hezbollah did. So I do think it's covered by the MOU. And it is an issue that will be gotten to at the appropriate time in these negotiations.
Let me ask you about Hormuz, if possible. Can the U.S. and allies, guarantee navigation, freedom of navigation in the state?
Well, that's the law. It's an international waterway. No country is allowed to charge tolls or fees on an international waterway. That's existing international law. That's the way it is in international waterways all over the world. And that's the way we expect it'll be here. So I don't think we have anybody to convince around here in that regard. I think all the countries in this region would agree with us. All right. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. President.
Hello, everybody. We're in Pennsylvania. We're celebrating the great steel numbers. We are back in the steel business in a big way, one of the biggest in the world again. And we're here to have a good time with a very big crowd of people.
Mr. President, the Department of War is asking for $80 billion more for the Iran war. Do you think Americans support this at a time when so many are financially struggling?
Who are you with?
I'm with you, sir.
Not a very good group. Not doing very well. Not only do they support it, they demand it because they won't allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. You want to see trouble? Let them have a nuclear weapon. We're doing very well with Iran. They've been decimated, and we're making a deal with them, and we'll see how that all goes. And right now, as you probably heard yesterday, we had 19 million barrels of oil come off, and that's the biggest in the history of the Strait, the Hormuz Strait. Our stock market is through the roof and oil prices are tumbling. We actually hit for a moment today. In fact, I think it's going to break it $70 a barrel. That's lower than we were when we started. And it's been amazing. And the big thing is Iran will not have a nuclear weapon.
What's on your agenda for your meeting tomorrow with senators at the lunch about Save America Act?
Well, we're just going to talk about Save America. We have to pass the Save America Act, which is voter ID, which is proof of citizenship, etc. We have to pass it. So we're going to have to talk about that and many other things. A lot of good relations.
Mr. President, the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, has told you many times he doesn't believe that they have the vote.
That's
to
what
pass
being a
it.
leader is about. You know, he's a leader. John's a leader. And that's what being as a leader about. Look, we have to be able to get proof of citizenship when you vote. Otherwise, we don't have elections. We have to be able to get voter ID. So John is a leader, and hopefully he can get the votes.
Mr. President, on Iran, the Iranians are saying there's no scheduled visit for the IAEA inspectors. Is that part of your agreement?
They're wrong.
No.
They're wrong. They know they're wrong. They told us inside, and we have it down 100% inspected. And if they were right, I'd cancel the meetings right now.
And Iran says there's no evidence to buy ag
From
products.
your view, Mr. President, when will those inspectors actually be on the ground?
At the appropriate time. At the appropriate time. There's no right, but they'll be on the ground at the appropriate time.
So on Lebanon, sir, Israeli forces have opened fire in southern Lebanon today, killing 2 people. Are you confident that the ceasefire is still holding in
Well, we'll
Lebanon?
see what, look, they've been fighting each other for many, many years, decades, and we'll see. But it's going to come along.
Mr. President, according to the reflecting poll, there's a note that our Ryan Ensign reported on that says that she's dead, she's with nature. Is there any hope that the FBI and investigators find her?
I hope they find her. Savannah's gone through, that family's gone through hell. I hope they find her.
Mr. President, on the reflecting poll, you mentioned yesterday that the Interior Department had video and photos. We reached out to them and they haven't shared it with us. Are
Well,
you
they won't
going to
share it.
compel them to believe
They've
it?
arrested, I think, 6 people on the reflecting pool. So the reflecting pool looks fantastic. I just got pictures of it. It's beautiful. But somebody went in with a knife and cut it. They cut it up good. And then they cut a 350-foot slip in the form of lots of little slips, a real horrible stuff, and they destroyed the grass. We put a brand new big load of grass out there. They destroyed it. So it's all being fixed, but it's a shame. So I understand 5 or 6 people are arrested. The Interior Department didn't refer to you.
Will they release them? Are you going to ask them to release them?
I hear they have 6 people under investigation.
You're about truckers are at high risk moving the jobs to AI.
Well, now they're not. You can't get a job. Right now, we have the highest job numbers we've ever had in the country, in the history of the country. And I'm just with a couple of the great senators and congressmen. We're talking. It's actually hard to do the, nobody's ever seen a time like this. We have right now so many jobs that are going to be available. And the biggest problem we have is getting the people. So we're really doing spectacular. In this area in Pennsylvania, for steel, Eli Lilly just announced billions of dollars worth of plans. We have more plans being built right now in the United States than at any time in the history of our country.
Mr. President, what will you say to allies of yours like Senator Cruz, who's been critical of the Iran?
Well, I think anybody that's been critical of it has to be educated, even if they're friends of mine.
Okay.
Because we have Iran in a position that nobody's ever had. This should have been done for 47 years by other presidents. That we have Iran in a position where their military has been totally wiped out, their leadership has been wiped out, their radar has been wiped out, everything's been wiped out. They have not a good negotiating position. But despite that, and money that will be taken out of Iran is going to go to our foreign farmers to get corn, soybeans, wheat to Iran because they have a hunger problem, they have a food problem, they have a medicine problem, they got a lot of problems. And they have an inflation. Their inflation now just did 300%. So they have a lot of problems.
Mr. President,
So we have a radical left communist elected, I guess, soon to be elected mayor of D.C. D.C. is now a safe, you people know better than anybody. It's a safe, beautiful city. When I came here, it was unsafe, unkempt, horrible. It was horrible. The monuments and the waterfalls and the statues and everything was graffiti written, hadn't been fixed in 50 years, clean. Now it's beautiful. We did 52 statues, monuments, waterfalls, including the thing that, where the vandal hit the reflecting pool, but we'll get that back very quickly. In fact, I will say, this morning I sent people over, they said it looks absolutely beautiful. But we're going to have to let a little water out and fix it, and then we'll work on it. Just so you understand, so our country is doing really well, and we're going to keep it that way. And any senator that didn't vote for all of the things we need, because we're making an amazing deal with Iran. We're making a deal that's going to keep our country and the world safe, because we're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And they know that, and they agree to that. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.